Welcome to Sacred Wandering with Keira. My friend, this is a corner of the world where time stops, where the noise in our minds quiet, where we have soft hearts and we open our palms and we ask. This is a place where we receive. I invite you to join me as we wander through the sacred together. Welcome to Sacred Wandering. Good morning, my love. We made it. I took 2 days off from the podcast. I've had very sick children. And the last 2 days, I just needed one thing in my life to not be happening. As much as I love the podcast, to just have one thing off my list felt very important. So I'm back. 2 out of the 3 are completely better. So yay on this. And 1 is healing. I've never had a child so sick as he has been. And it has required both of us to have the deepest faith. And he is healing. And so for that, I will celebrate and be very, very, very grateful. So I'm just here. I'm here. I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit worn out, but I am here. And I'm happy that you are here. So let's breathe in together. We're going to take a nice deep breath in from the crown of our head. So we're going to breathe in. Actually, I would like you to breathe in through the whole being. So not just the crown. I actually see it like I breathe in through every pore of my body. So we're going to breathe in love into every pore of our body. And then we're going to breathe out fear. And we're going to let the fear leave out through the mouth. And it's going to look like smoke. All right. So we're going to breathe in love. And out fear. And in love. And out. Let's go again. And out. And then we're just going to take one nice regular breath in. There we go. Noticing how much more grounded you feel, how much more in your heart you feel. We're going to call in all of our angels and all of our guides in and through the divine light, that they may come and sit with us, that they may show us exactly what needs to come through today. And then we are going to ask that light may cleanse our ears, that we may hear God's voice today, that they may be tuned to the frequency of the voice of God. And then we are going to ask that light may cleanse our third eye chakra, that we may claim our spiritual gifts and use them as we were guided and gifted to use them. And then we are going to bless our lips, that they may be washed, cleansed, and anointed before we speak with God. We're going to breathe in and out. All right, my friends. I'm going to read to you these words that I received in my prayer corner. Hallowed is your energy. Return and remember daily ground with me, be with me, walk with me. Holy is the woman who plants her energy in God. Same for men. Holy is the man who plants his energy in God. So, remember when I started to bless my body 3 times a day? And then life went turbo speed epic. And then I stopped. Tis the nature of being human. Yes. And so after I landed on that one, I received that message months ago. It's in my old prayer book. And it was perfect timing today to recommit to the 3 times a day blessing of the body. 3 times a day grounding in with God. 3 times a day planting my energy in the energy of God. And so I'm just recommitting here now publicly to you. But also because I want to remind you that we're just human. Okay. And we begin to do something and it starts to work. And we began to do something because life actually stopped working. And so we began to deepen our spiritual practice in an effort to make life work again. And then because of our spiritual practice, life works again. And then we forget to do the spiritual practice because, well, life works now. 'Tis every story in the Bible, in the Book of Mormon, it's all the holy scripture stories, guys. The nation starts to fall, and so they turn to God. And then the nation is blessed, and so they turn away from God. And then the stories go and go on loop until the end of time, until we choose differently, where we choose to choose God when life is going good. We choose to pray always when abundance fills our storehouses. We choose to pray because we choose God. We don't choose to pray because our life is falling apart. We choose to pray because we just choose God. And that right there is how we end the cycle of humanity. And we actually tip into the world of miracles. To choose, simply to choose. And so that's my commitment and my invitation. Now, let's go into prayer. So I invite you to pick up whatever has been holding you back from full connection and full attention to God and your relationship with building this beautiful life where you walk and talk with the divine presence within us and above us. So we're going to hand it over to God. And we're going to ask that God may transfigure it, to turn it into an opportunity for every next problem leads you to the next right opportunity. So we're just going to feel that leave our bodies. Then we're going to ask that God will touch our cells, that our cells may match the frequency of God. And then we are going to ask that God will place his hands on our head to give us a blessing, that we may receive the words that are for us today. And I'll be quiet while you pray. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. You're going to breathe all the way down, out through the soles of your feet. And you're going to open the palms of your hands and you're going to ask God, what is my number one action that needs to be done today? And then you're going to write it down. We're going to call on our angels and ask them for help. We're going to ask them to help us do this action. We're going to ask them to help us be present and to be grounded in the energy of God. And then, my love, I invite you to walk in peace. Walk in peace knowing that you're grounded in a ground that is unshakable. Walk in peace knowing that every path that you've ever walked was actually prepared for you. And so the path in front of you is actually prepared, and that the stones have been laid, and that all that is needed is for you to pick your foot up, because it has been prepared for you. Breathe that in and out. Today, I thank you for wandering into the sacred with me. And I will see you tomorrow morning in our prayer corner. Thank you for wandering into the sacred with me today. If this episode moved or inspired you, I encourage you to share it. Think of someone who needs this message today and text it to them. Let's add more light to the world by welcoming people into our prayer corner together. I also want to invite you to create your own prayer corner at home, a space set apart where you can return again and again to hear God's voice. To support you, I've created the Sacred Space course, which guides you step by step in locating, creating, and dedicating your very own sacred space. You're also welcome into the Sacred Wandering Facebook group, where you can share the blessings that God is giving you and be uplifted by others walking this path. You can find both of these resources in the show notes, or just send me a DM on Instagram at Keira Brinton, and me or my team will send them directly to you. I want to thank you for being one of the rare humans who chooses to sit at the foot of God, to ask, listen, and do. And as always, I want to thank you for wandering into the sacred with me.